Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Rose. So I've been working my way through the Alice in Wonderland Slimline Journal, and I thought I would give you guys an update on what I've been doing, and I have a little interesting project to do with you guys today as well. So you've seen the cover, obviously. I have popped a few bits and pieces in here and there. I've put a couple of stamps up here. A little bit of trim down here. There's something else to go down here as well, not sure what. This is a teeny tiny pocket on the pocket in the front. Now I'm not sure that the ephemera that's in there is going to stay in there. I'm just kind of visualizing as I go, just putting stuff in there as I go to visualize what it'll be like. So we have a little flip out here. Not sure if I showed you guys this. Is just stenciling with some embossing powder, but it's an embossing powder by Raquel Barillo Perez. It's actually Wow embossing powder, but it's inspired by Raquel Barillo Perez, and it's called Egyptian Turquoise. And what it is, it's different types of embossing powders in there. So there's gold and some kind of turquoises mixed in, and it gives a beautiful kind of mottled effect. So that's beautiful. I have a quote up here as well. Everything is queer today, and I put it down sideways because everything is queer. And here we have a little flip. This is a tiny belly band going across the top. It's got a quote on it, a little tab on the side of the page. This is one of the envelopes from the kit, and I have left this open for journaling. I've just put a stamp in there. And on the front I have used one of the teeny tiny pockets that comes with the kit, and it's got a lot of ephemera in there. It's got a quote and all the rest of it. These quotes and labels, I actually took out my typewriter and went through the Alice in Wonderland book and typed out things that I wanted. I have quite a few of them. They're not all going to get used, but at least we have options and choices. So that's that. It's all decorated on the front. These little gold pieces here, don't know if you can see that, here on the side of the band and here on the corner of this little pocket, those pieces are just the pieces you pop out from die cuts when you're die cutting something. Particular example, this one, I use the offcuts from this a lot. All these little diamonds, this little shape here, I use them a lot. There's a nice little teardrop shape there as well. I use them a lot for decorating, and that is a great way to get these little touches without having to buy something else if you have a die that will give you little shapes like that. So back here I've made this into a pocket, another quote, and we have our journal card in the back. I just put this kind of peach toned butterfly on the back. It gets a little lost, but I'm okay with that. I just wanted something subtle, but I thought that peachy colour picked up very nicely in the colours in the kit. There's some oranges and peaches going through the kit as well. Okay, so up here we have a paper clip, an altered paper clip. Now I'll just give you a quick look at this. It's got two little gems, the club, and on the back we have an escutcheon, the keyhole. And I started doing this paperclip. Louisa Heinzel had a paperclip tutorial on her channel, and I liked it, and I said, look, we'll give it a go. And I started doing it, and I was getting really frustrated by working so small. And then I realized, after watching Louisa's video again, I realized my paper clips are about the half the size of Louisa's. So I kept them quite simple. This is probably one of the more elaborate ones, I would say. And I have a set of 4. Of course we have all the suits, and my hearts are gone missing. Oh no. It's around there somewhere, but it's just decided to go missing. Okay, I'm going to have a look for that, but I can't show it to you right now. I'll show it to you again at some other point. But these are the 3 that I can show you today. And on the backs, this one is plain for now. I may or may not put something on there. This was one of the first ones I did, and I realised how frustrating it was working even that tiny. And I also had kind of played with the idea of putting these bulb pins on, but they're quite awkward, so they will be coming off. I'll probably use them somewhere else. So that is those. This pops back in here. Where is it? Where have we gone? Right. This pops back on here like so. Like so. There we go. And down here we have a teeny tiny little envelope folder. Can you see that? You can't. Teeny tiny little envelope folder, and I've just put a little rose sticker on that. And over the page we have some ephemera. Again, not sure if this ephemera will be staying here. And we have our label for the rose garden here. The idea behind this, obviously we have the lock and the key here. You know, when she's in the hall and she's looking through the keyhole at the rose garden. So that's the idea there. And this page I have a little pocket down here with a quote on it, a little tuck up here, and a notebook. It's just a little notebook with 1 or 2 decorated pages, and I must ink the back of that. And that pops in there, and this little tuck keeps it in place. And we have a couple of tickets and tags, drink me and eat me. That's those 2 ticked off the list. So they pop in there as well. Over the page we just have a flip out for journaling. I just put a little, what would you call that? You can't call it a thumb divot, but it's the opposite of a thumb divot. 2 little circles just as a little kind of holding place, I guess. So that's that. On here we have the fan that the white rabbit drops. I'm just going to push this back a tiny bit so you can see. There we go. We have the fan that the white rabbit drops. Now I did look through the book. I thought it said a white fan, but it didn't. It just said a large fan and white kid gloves. So I could play with the actual paper that I used in the fan and the design and all the rest of that. So I had fun with that. And I have made it into a little tuck spot. Here we have a little ticket, and all things nice. That's what little girls are made of. And this is a little flip up hidden journaling spot. That's that. Now unfortunately I didn't have anything that I could use for white kid gloves. I may come across something as I go through my stash again at another point, but for now we have no kid gloves, unfortunately. Okay, on this page I went a little nuts in a way. Well, that's Alice in Wonderland, isn't it? It kind of plays on the idea of the crazy teacups that Rachel Walters did over at Rachel Bella Crafts. She had all these little teacup pockets, and she put them every which way on the page. Now her journal was much bigger, so I only just got the 2 pockets in here. So this one is even upside down, and it's got a few little pieces of ephemera in there. And actually the reason I ended up doing this was because the pattern on this pocket, the club's pattern in the background, was upside down when the pocket was the right way up. So I was just looking at it and I said, oh, why not put it upside down? Why not? It is Alice in Wonderland. So we have another pocket here, and these tags I had in my stash, and they were just the perfect, absolutely perfect size to slot into those pockets. It's like they were made for each other. So I haven't done anything to that. I may stamp on things on the back of it, but for now, and it's got a kind of an embossed pattern on it. I don't think the camera is going to pick that up, but the roses themselves are actually embossed. It's very pretty. It was beautiful. It is a beautiful paper pad. I still have it. 2 tickets from the kit, or 2 tags from the kit, I should say, and a little decorated pocket down here. And this is one of the tags. I had the tags in the middle, in the center of the signature, and I decided I didn't really like that, so because they were just the width of the pages, and I wasn't feeling it. So I just cut one out and I put it down here as a short page, just something interesting. And I have two little stamps here, and these again are tags that I had in my stash and I just thought they were perfect for the theme. Popped a little spade in there because the spades in the book were the gardeners. And two little pieces of notepaper. I may sew those and just have a little flippy booklet. So that is that. Now, I think I've decided to not do anything with this page, so that you can read the writing that's on it. And I came to this page and I had an idea for this page, but I decided that it wouldn't really fit in here, so I'm going to actually do it further back in the book, and that's what we're going to work on today. I will do something similar with this page here, but for today we're working on one that's further along in the book. Okay, so this is going this way. Here we go. Now, it's a kind of a little, it's a little peep through page, and we are going to be punching holes like this down along the side of the page, and we have our suits here, and they're going to be floating in those little circles like so. Okay, and I'm going to cover it with acetate and all the rest of it. So we're going to go ahead and get on with that. Now I'm hoping that I can get my circles at least some way even down the page. So, oh, whoopsie. So this is a fold over page. You can, I guess you could do it with just a single page as well. You'd have to figure out how to cover the back part, but you know, with a double page, it's I think it's easier. It's easier to cover up the workings of what you're doing. So I'm punching through both layers. I'm just going to try and make them as even as possible. And they are not even, but I think we'll be okay with that. I'm going to hold on to these circles, they will come in handy. Okay, so I have here a laminating pouch that we are going to use. And I'm just going to slip this in here in between the two pages. Actually, would I be better off slipping it behind so that I don't have to drag it out again? Haha. Okay, so I'm just laying my page on the laminating pouch, and I'm going to bring it right to the edge. And I'm going to lay my... Actually, do you know what? I'm actually going to cut my laminating pouch before I do that. I don't need all of this. I only need a tiny sliver of it. So I'm going to cut it right here. Get my cutting mat. And my knife. And my ruler. Find my mark. There we go. I'm going to cut it as straight as I can, simply because I can use the rest of this laminating pouch. There we go. At a later date for a later project. I should be very careful lifting things like that off my desk because there's so much around me. And these tiny little pieces keep getting lost. They get caught in my sleeves and everything. Anyway, so I'm going to open this up again. Now I'm going to turn actually the edge piece that's cut. Yeah, the piece that's cut square, I'm going to turn it in this way. I'll probably end up cutting it anyway, but just in case I don't, it'll be a neater finish on the corner. So, right over to the edge. we go. And I'm going to start placing my clubs and my hearts and my spades. Unfortunately on these black ones you can really see any white that pops through from when you were cutting them, so I'm just going to get my Sharpie and colour those in a tiny little bit. It was not fun cutting these out either, by the way. It was not fun. It's not something I'd volunteer to do, I'll put it like that. Or at least not something I'd volunteer to do again. Just a little bit more here. And I think that is okay. I thought I had gotten all of this last night when I was cutting them. I'm sorry that I hadn't. But however, almost there. And I'm just going to grab the spade and do the very same thing so that I don't have to stop again and try and get that one done. I do have a nice narrow tip on this Sharpie, which is good in some respects, but in other respects it makes things a little more difficult. I could do with having one of each, a thinner and a thicker nib. The spade isn't too bad. It's quite difficult to cut these out exactly the same. Quite difficult with anything, I guess, when you're trying to put them back to back like this, if you're not using a die cut or a Cricut machine or something like that. But we can always disguise. Get that edge there. And one or two little bits here. The spade wasn't so bad. Okay. Okay. So, we're after moving our... Sorry, I'm after moving our, because you're not even here and I'm blaming you. Okay, so I wanted the hearts, then the clubs, then the diamonds, and then our spades. Et voila. Let's try and get this page out of the way without moving them. And get this closed down. Right, now I do need a carrier sheet for that, because it is so teeny tiny. And this is one I just made myself. It's just 2 sheets of backing from contact paper, and I've just taped them across the top to make a little folder. And we'll pop that on there. That through. Now my laminator has been heating for quite a while, so we should get a good result with the first pass. And I will speed this up. Okay, so we have it out of the laminator. Let's have a look. Oh, that looks good. I had actually embossed the carrier sheet as well. How cool is that? Because I have these doubled front and back. Anywho, so that is that. Let's see how it looks in our page. Let's hope they didn't move. Yeah, it's gonna look awesome. Gonna trim a tiny bit off the edge just to bring them over a tiny bit. The diamond is a slight bit crooked, but that's okay. We'll get over that. And yeah. Okay, so I'm going to trim a teeny tiny bit down here. Just a sliver, really. And I'm not even putting my mat up. Okay, that out of the way. And let's have a look. That's wonderful. That's a bit better. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to fix this in place with double-sided tape just to keep things simple. And I don't think I'm actually going to even put tape down here. I might just put tape across these bits and down the side. And I'm going to trim it off before I do that. Will I? Or do I want it to go all the way to the edge? If I trim it below the edge, it's actually going to have a little bit of a lip. Does that bother me? Not particularly, but if we don't need to have it, why would we have it? So I'm going to trim it at the page level. And the same with the bottom. Okay, get these bits out of the way. And we have a teeny tiny little stamp here. Get out of there. Double-sided tape. I have some very narrow stuff. That will be wonderful. And I'm just going to run it. Oop, not there. I'm all stuck. Okay. Just going to run it down the very, very side, and I'm sorry if my head gets into frame here. I'm just trying to keep you in frame so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to cut that. I was going to just wrap it around, but I figured that if it's going all the way to the end, the double-sided tape will catch here at the very top. So I'm going to go to the effort of cutting it. I'm going to run another strip down the other side. Trying to be very precise in my placement here. Snip that off there. And I'm just going to run 1, 2, 3 strips across these middle bits here. No, I'm going to run it actually across the top and the bottom as well. And I can wrap this one around because it's not going to be catching on anything. Same on the middle. Actually those middle bits now, I'm not going to put them on those middle bits because if I don't get that placement right, it's going to show. So I'm just going to do a top and bottom. And I might just, don't want that in there. Yeah, I'm going to put it down this side as well, keeping it kind of really towards the edge. I'm just going to double check that that doesn't show anywhere here. That tape is going to, how is that? That's not correct. Well, that doesn't help Rose. Here. That tape is actually going to show. Why is it not coming all the way over where it should? What have I done, guys? No. Do I have it upside down? No, I'm sure I don't. Oh. Yeah, that would explain a lot. Okay. Now that tape is actually going to show on this side. So that is not going to happen. I'm going to leave that off. Just as well I checked. Just as well I checked. That was my initial plan anyway, was to not put tape in there. I obviously had it like that for a reason. Just going to roll up my tape again. Phew. I'm glad I checked that. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to look good. We'll get this situated. I have it all front and back. I do. Just going to take the tape off of the back side first. Or actually, we'll take it off the front side. Because we're clever like that. Or at least we try to be. Doesn't want to come off. Hey. Come on. There we go. I'm actually going to trim that little bit off because it's after balling up and I don't want the lump underneath the paper. Oops. Very fiddly job. Very fiddly. Okay. That's going to be nice and smooth. I'm going to leave it on the back. And we'll get this one off. And of course the bottom one is going to come off much nicer. No, it's not. That was my Dr. Hibbert laugh. Any of you know The Simpsons? I have a Dr. Hibbert laugh apparently. Now, so we're going to lay it so that the tape isn't getting caught. Just going to tear off this tiny bit of that paper and we can get it situated correctly. Or at least that is the plan. Okay, looking good. And there we have it. That's going to be awesome. Just going to take the tape off of the other side. There is a little bit of trimming to do down there. That's okay. Fold it over. And we have a little see-through Peep page. Isn't that cool? I love it. I should have actually gone around the edges of the holes with some ink, but it's okay. So how will this look in our journal? Let's find where it's supposed to go. I think it's in here. So, as we're flipping through our beautiful book, we come to this. Isn't that awesome? So guys, that's my sharing for today. I will be looking at the other page and I will do something with that. It won't be exactly the same, but it'll be a similar idea, playing with little cutouts and things like that. Now this isn't finished. I am going to possibly fold this back and have a tuck. Not sure, might just stick it all down, but we'll get to that when we get to this page. I'm actually working my way through the book the way I do. I can't seem to get away from that method of working. I guess if it works for me, just keep doing it. But I love this. This is really awesome. So I'm very happy with that today. Okay, so if you liked the video, guys, please do give me a thumbs up. It really, really helps my channel. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers at the moment, so do, if you haven't already, subscribe. And we'll be back very, very soon with some more Alice in Wonderland fun. Okay, guys, have a fantastic week, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.